Language Learning Series, The Science of Listening.
Isn't it one of the most frustrating things in the world? You can read English, no problem. You see it on the page, and it makes perfect sense. But the second you hear someone say it, it's just a jumble of noise, a total blur. Well, you are definitely not alone. And today, we're going to dig into the science of why that happens, and way more importantly, how you can actually fix it. Okay, so let's jump right in with a little test. If you're a native Mandarin speaker, go ahead and pause to read the sentence on your screen. Now, for everyone else, this sentence basically says that the order of the characters doesn't really affect your ability to read it. Pretty simple, right? Seems to make perfect sense. But here's the twist. This is the sentence you actually just read. Yeah, take a look. The characters are a complete mess. They're all scrambled. Your brain didn't just read it, it decoded it. It unscrambled the whole thing on the fly to pull out the meaning, probably before you even realized what was happening. It just goes to show you your brain is an absolutely incredible meaning-seeking machine. And right there, that's the big question we're here to solve today. If your brain has this superpower, this built-in ability to find meaning even in chaos, why does it feel like it just shuts down when it hears fast-spoken English? We're going to unpack the science behind this, and I'm going to show you how to flip that switch and unlock this power for your listening. So here's our game plan. We've already done that strange little reading test. Next up, we're going to uncover your brain's secret code for understanding language. After that, I'll show you exactly how to force a system upgrade, and we'll finish up by talking about the miracle moment that this kind of training can create. All right, let's get into it. The answer to that reading puzzle, and really the key to unlocking effortless listening, all comes down to a scientific concept called semantic modules. Now, it sounds a little technical, but trust me, getting this one idea is going to change everything about how you practice. Think of it like this. Semantic modules are the secret weapon native speakers are using all the time, completely unconsciously. Their brains don't hear the individual words we, then just, then want, then to, then thank. No way. They hear one single meaningful chunk. We just want to thank. It's processed as one unit, and that is so much more efficient. So how does the brain pull this off? Well, this whole high-speed process really rests on three powerful things your brain is already a genius at: prediction, chunking, and this really cool one called perceptual restoration. Let's break these down with a real-world example so you can see them in action. We're going to use this bit of audio from NASA Mission Control. Now, for a lot of learners, this clip sounds super fast, kind of blurry, maybe even a little intimidating. But the crazy thing is, it's made up of really simple everyday words. So this is going to be our case study to see what a native listener's brain is doing that's so different. So let's kick things off with that first pillar, prediction. You got to understand your brain is not a passive little recording device just sitting back and waiting for sounds to hit your ears. No, it's an active, aggressive prediction machine. It's constantly guessing what's next, what's coming next. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If it's early and a friend walks up to you and says, "Good," your brain doesn't just wait around, it's already filled in the blank, right? It's expecting morning. This makes processing language incredibly fast because half the time your brain is just confirming what it already predicted, not hearing it fresh for the very first time. Now, this one gets right to the heart of how our brains are built. Our short-term memory, it's surprisingly tiny. It can really only hold about 7 or so pieces of information at once. So to survive this constant fire hose of words coming at it, the brain had to develop a critical survival skill, grouping things together into chunks. Let's go back to that NASA clip. It's 59 words long. 59! Now, trying to process 59 separate pieces of information in just 18 seconds, that would completely crash anyone's short-term memory. It's literally an impossible task. And here is the brain's brilliant solution. Your brain doesn't hear 59 words. It hears just 13 of those meaningful chunks, those semantic modules. Think about that. The cognitive load, the amount of stuff you have to process, just dropped by over 75%. It goes from impossible to totally manageable. All right, let's get to the third pillar, and this one is my absolute favorite. It's called perceptual restoration. This is basically your brain's autocomplete function for sound. Honestly, it's like a superpower you didn't know you had. So get this. Studies have shown that even when 30, 40, even 50% of a sound is totally blocked by a noise, like a cough or a door slamming, your brain uses the context of the sentence to just fill in the blank. You perceive a perfectly complete sentence that never actually existed. Your brain literally reconstructs reality to make sense of the world. How cool is that? Okay, so this is the crucial part. We know what our brains can do. We know they are built for prediction and chunking and these amazing brain fills. The real question is, how do we get our brains to do this for English? How do we force the upgrade? Right now, if you're listening word by word, you're basically stuck on a slow local road in your brain called the auditory cortex. It gets jammed up really easily. Native-like listening, though, that happens on the superhighway, the prefrontal cortex. It's fast, predictive, and efficient. The entire goal of this training is to force your brain to get off that slow road and merge onto the superhighway. And the way we force that switch is with two methods that probably sound completely backward at first. First, speed listening. You intentionally listen to audio that is way faster than you can possibly understand. And second, listening with noise, where you deliberately listen to audio that's been made unclear by adding background sounds. Now, why on earth would we do this? Well, the whole point of this crazy training is to make that old, inefficient, word-by-word system fail. We want to break it. When the sound is coming in too fast or it's too noisy for that slow auditory cortex to keep up, it basically throws its hands up and quits. And that is what forces your brain to switch over to the much more powerful native-like system. It has no other choice. So what happens after you do this consistently, after you put your brain through this boot camp of handling high speeds and messy audio? Well, this is where learners start to describe something that feels almost like a miracle. It's this profound shift in how they perceive normal speech. Remember that feeling we started with? The feeling of normal, conversational English just flying by you in a blur. You know it's too fast, you feel overwhelmed, you just can't catch it. That's your baseline before the upgrade. And then, this is the transformation. After your brain has adapted to processing language at 2 times or even 3 times normal speed, when you finally go back and listen at regular 1x speed, it feels like the world just shifted into slow motion. For the very first time, it sounds crystal clear, it sounds slow, and you finally have all this extra brain space to actually think about the meaning, not just struggle to hear the words. So, to wrap all this up, if there's one thing you take away today, let it be this. You are not trying to learn some brand new skill from scratch. You are activating a powerful system that is already built into your brain, one you use for your native language every single day without thinking. This is about forcing a system upgrade, not just mindlessly repeating stuff. And that leaves us with one final thought. What if the biggest thing standing in the way of your fluency isn't about learning more words or more grammar? What if it's about unlearning the bad habit of listening word by word and finally letting your brilliant brain do what it was designed to do all along? Find the meaning in the flow.